Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down. Oh boy. You know I'm an old soul on the internet. I'm an old man. So when I see new people entering the space and people are gossiping a little bit here and a little bit here, sometimes I have to look people up. And one of those people, as of late, are the Island Boy brothers.
Cause I'm an island boy.
Does that ring a bell? If you're young, it probably does. But for all these old-timey people that are like me, buckle in. Because the Island Boys have been making quite the stir with a lot of weird incest stuff lately. All of it is fake, but it still is incest bait to promote their OnlyFans. Because if you're on the internet, you gotta make that beautiful money, baby. You gotta cash them checks. But before we go in too far to that, I mean, like, who are the Island Boys, right? I'm gonna take you on the same journey that I went through when researching these guys. The Island Boys are 22-year-old fraternal twins, Frankie and Alex Venegas. Oof, hopefully I said that right, Venegas. That sounds like almost like a racial slur. But they're better known by their stage names because yes, they're rappers. Kodiak Red, that's Frankie, and also Fly Soldier, that's Alex. So, you know, very nice. And in October of 2021, they really did change the landscape of the internet when they released their infamous freestyle, I'm an Island Boy, which is how they got their Island Boy name.
I'm an island boy, just trying to make I'm an island boy.
Whatever, you know that deal? They're sitting there, they look like they're 3'5", they weigh 30 pounds. They look like giant babies with bad haircuts. It looks like as if a baby went into Sports Clips and they had just beautifully long hair and they say, do as much damage as you possibly can to me, and that's what happened. And because of their tiny little Twinkie bodies, all their cute little Post Malone tattoos, their haircuts, and their hip freestyle, they were on their way to becoming internet sensations. Internet little cute boyos. And sure enough, they did. They got to go, and the song got so big that they turned it into a music video. It sounds like a blown out Honda Civic speaker for their bass. It's pretty fun. You know what I mean? You see somebody drive by and their fucking trunk is vibrating, and it's, you know, it sounds like it's getting ready to explode the back window. It sounds like that. It's a terrible song. You know, it has like 23 million views. It was a big hit. And as the track was released into the world, they got to play some shows. They got to go out and they got to spread their little musical butterfly wings, and they were fluttering around, and they got booed off a stage one time, and that got recorded. That would be embarrassing. I don't know what other artists got booed off stage. I think Aaron Lewis remember Aaron Lewis? Yeah, everybody who's 40 years older is like, I know who Aaron Lewis. Aaron Lewis was the guy Stained. He was in that like divorced dad rock band, but he forgot the national anthem and everybody booed him at the baseball game. That was really funny. Aaron Lewis and the Island Boys are exactly the same. If anything, if you look at the Island Boys, they kind of look like if Aaron Lewis was 3 years old. So it's an interesting evolution. That's the Pokemon chart for evolution there. From this though, they've amassed all these followers on Instagram, over 2 million followers. They're big boys. Big boys. Big boys, brah! And they sit there, and then there's been all these controversies. Like, one of the controversies I read up on was that there's this photo of Jeffrey Epstein with like 4 kids. There's a conspiracy that 2 of the children are the Island Boys, which is also why they call themselves Island Boys. That one feels far-fetched, but god damn it, I want to believe. It's like Santa Claus. I really want that one to be true. But, you know, I don't know. And then from there, they've had all these celebrity feuds. They walked off Logan Paul's podcast because he was memeing on them a bit. Think of all the prime and free exposure you could have gotten from that. You could have even maybe gotten a boxing fight. Who knows? They might have even been in a boxing fight. I researched, but I didn't research that hard. They got in a beef with Adam 22, Blueface, fucking any other member of the goddamn Scooby-Doo gang that exists on the internet. These all sound like Scooby-Doo villains. I mean, I don't fucking know. Adam 22, there's all kinds of shit. There's all these random feuds, but it's all surrounded in bullshit and fake trolling. As they say, they like to troll a lot and they like to cause controversies, and they do make good money off of it. I mean, they transition that into doing Cameo, where they probably made tons of money because people pointed and said, look at this funny video of the Island Boys singing on my phone, Greg, happy birthday. And then they never were friends again. I read that like the US Army asked for a cameo and they gave him $50,000 for it. And in the cameo, they said, yo, thanks for the $50K Army, appreciate ya. But the US Army didn't like that. They basically said, we didn't pay for this shit. There's no way that's true. Just letting y'all know they're cap for real. That's young term for they're lying. Just trying to keep y'all up to date. Which I don't believe it. I do feel like the Army put money into it somehow for like a weird recruiting thing. I've seen recruiters do insane things to get people to sign up, like offer Humvees, like a Hummer. Pretty sure that's what they offered at my school. They like came to our gymnasium and they had a Hummer in the gym. And they were like, if you guys join up, you could win this Hummer. And everyone was like, why the fuck would I want a Hummer? And also, dude, no one wants to join the army, dude. I'm sorry. But they amassed a lot of wealth, a lot of followers in this time, all through controversies and trolling and all kinds of crazy stuff. But now, snap back into reality. Oh, there goes gravity. They started making posts teasing that they were gonna kiss each other. Which, you know what brother doesn't like to kiss their brother? If I had a brother, I'd kiss him. I'd do it for free. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. And you know, it was kind of cute at first. They would do this thing where it's like, I don't know, are we gonna do it? And then they stick their tongues out and then they're touching tongues and then they're making out on camera. And it's at that point where you're like, it's a troll. And it's like, it's a very, to me, it was one of those things where it's a very obvious troll. I don't believe any of it, but it's such a, it's a big step. I have a sister. And I think to myself, hey, to stir up some controversy into some clicks to boost our OFs, let's like kiss for an uncomfortable amount of time. To me, I don't have that relationship with my sister. You know, if I had a brother, maybe it's different if you have a brother. If anybody has a brother, have you kissed him for a long time to where it looks like you're making out? Leave a comment below, hit the like button, smash the bell. But you know, they started teasing some of the kissing, and then there was like a weird thing where they denied the photo ever even being on Twitter.
There's no proof of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
They say stuff and they retract it. They say something, they retract it, and it's just to get clicks and stuff. And I'm a bad person because I feed into it, and I'm even making a video on it now. But we're gonna get to why in just a bit. But then Fly Soldier drops a huge bombshell that he's gay.
I like men.
Which I thought was funny that people said it was a huge bombshell, because I'm like, I don't think it's really a bombshell to be gay. I think it's more so the bombshell that you're fucking and sucking your brother. I mean, that's the bombshell in my book. Coming out as gay in 2023 is like it's like saying I have a cold or I'm happy. I mean, it should be that common. It's not a big fucking deal. To drop a bombshell and say that you're gay after smooshing up your brother, I think that there's a little more psychology that goes into that. I don't know what kind of Freudian magic is going on there, but there is magic. And this, you know, caused a whole bunch of stuff. And then the Island Boys went on Aiden Ross's stream where they had a really autistic argument, and it was a bunch of just three dumbasses in total, just kind of screaming and reeing on camera about who's gay because of hairlines and who's gay because they have sex with brothers. It took me back to 3rd grade, and I almost wanted to go buy a carton of chocolate milk and eat like a chicken patty with a hot roll, because that's like, it brought me back to that cozy 3rd grade time. The Aiden Ross interview didn't go very well. It started like this.
Yo, what's up?
Huh?
And then this happened.
Which one of you guys is the gay one?
No one's gay. Your hairline's gay.
Stop it.
Then followed up by this.
Hold on, no homo. Can we see videos of your dick?
Are you still with me?
Shut the fuck up!
It's gonna keep going.
You need to be hung on a fuck. Oh my god!
And one more.
Big fat Minecraft character looking for you.
And it's kind of just progressed from there. You get a lot of who said this, who said that. Deplorable kissing of brothers. I just don't like the kissing part. The kissing part kind of gets me. But the biggest thing of all is that the last thing they did was there was a fabricated video that they made to once again promote that OF OnlyFans for that money. And it was a fake blowjob. Can I say blowjob on, I don't know. A fake suck and fuck on Twitter, where they blocked it out and it looked like he was sucking on his brother's little dinky, but really it was just a carrot. But it was just at that moment when I saw that I felt compelled to make this video, because it felt so sad. I felt so incredibly sad for them, because in the grand scheme of all this, they're extremely dumb people that probably have rich parents. That's speculation. I don't think that anybody's found out who their parents are. From what I found, their father is deceased, rest in peace, and they were raised by a single mother. So who knows? Maybe all this wealth and this notoriety, maybe it's Brad Pitt. Maybe their parents are Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I don't know. The thing is that they've always started, they're always in like a large jacuzzi. And when I grew up very poor, and I didn't see a large jacuzzi. Granted, Florida, they're from Florida. Florida is a little different than Missouri, so you know, there's not a lot. The jacuzzi ratio probably isn't there, but it felt like worthy to say. All I know is that it's an insane thing, the trajectory, and I felt like I was like, the next step is either gonna be they're gonna keep riding the sexual wave as it gets clicked, and as that starts dying down and people don't really give a fuck about incest, because that's been on Hub forever, I feel like we're gonna see a fake death. We're gonna see some weird stuff that I feel like it's gonna translate into real life problems, and I hope that's not true. But this whole thing feels like a crazy cautionary tale of the internet. It feels like this kind of Christian-esque thing thing where, sure, they might not be as mentally fucking deranged as Chris Chan to have sex with their mom, but they know enough to exploit weird incest stuff for their own personal clicks and gains to make some quick bucks on OnlyFans. And then I think about them when they're 60 years old and just them being like, fuck, I wish I just would have like worked at Enterprise Car Rentals. They have a great retirement program, and you know, people need to rent cars left and right. It feels like just a tragic tale. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like they generate clicks. It is genuinely interesting to see somebody completely ruin their smallish, boyish frame. They could have been a great background extra in House of Dragon season 2 or something like that because they're so tiny, identical twins or whatever. They could have done a lot. I feel like. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a twin. I don't know what kind of career path. Maybe there could have been plumbers. I don't know. They could still be. I'm fueling the fire by making this, but it's just kind of interesting, and I read about it this week, and it's not every day that you get to talk about some weird sibling incest stuff without actually throwing up. It's like a wholesome incest where it's a bit of a goof. It's a bit of a troll. So I had to know about it, so you do too. Fuck you. But also thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Hopefully you show up for the next one. Bye. Okay.